everyone, it's Aya here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, I want to share something that happened to me last month, something that completely changed how I see learning English. I was standing in front of the biggest library I had ever seen in my life, holding a small piece of plastic in my shaking hands. It was just a library card, but to me, it felt like I was holding the key to a treasure chest. What I didn't know was that in the next 30 minutes, I would make the most embarrassing mistake of my life and discover something amazing about myself. Let me start from the beginning. It was a rainy Saturday morning, and Mary, my host mom, had suggested I get a library card. Aya, the public library is wonderful, she had said over breakfast. You can borrow books, use the computers, and they even have English conversation groups. English conversation groups? I thought nervously. Maybe I'm not ready for that yet. But the idea of borrowing English books excited me. In Japan, English books were expensive, and I had always dreamed of reading stories in English. That sounds perfect, Mary. Thank you for the idea, I had replied. So there I was, standing in front of the Central Public Library downtown. The building was enormous. 3 floors of books, computers, and quiet reading spaces. This is it, Aya, I told myself. You can do this. Inside, I looked around in wonder. Families were reading together in colorful children's areas. Students were studying at long wooden tables. Elderly people were reading newspapers in comfortable chairs. Everyone looked so peaceful and happy here, I thought. I walked to the information desk where a friendly librarian with gray hair and kind eyes was waiting. Good morning. How can I help you today? She asked with a warm smile. Good morning, I said, trying to sound confident. I would like to, get a library card, please? Of course, that's wonderful. Are you new to the city? She asked. Yes, I am from Japan. I am an exchange student living with a host family here in America, I explained. So far, so good, I thought. How exciting! I'm Mrs. Patterson. Let me help you with the application. She handed me a form and a pen. Just fill this out, and I'll need to see some identification and proof of address. I had prepared for this. Mary had helped me gather all the necessary documents. I carefully filled out the form, double-checking my spelling. Name, Aya Tanaka. Address, 245 Maple Street. Everything looked correct. Perfect, Mrs. Patterson said, looking at my form. Now, would you like me to show you around and explain how everything works? Yes, please. That would be very helpful, I said, feeling excited. Mrs. Patterson led me through the library. This is the fiction section, she explained, gesturing to endless rows of books. These are arranged alphabetically by the author's last name. And over here is nonfiction, cooking, travel, history, everything you can imagine. My eyes grew wide. There are so many books. I could read here every day for years. And this, she continued, is our new book section. These are the most popular recent arrivals. You can borrow up to 5 books at a time for 3 weeks. 5 books? I asked, surprised. That's very generous. Mrs. Patterson laughed. We want people to read. Now, let me show you something special. She led me to a quieter corner of the library. This is our English as a Second Language section. We have books at different levels, from beginner to advanced. And see these? She pointed to some books with colorful covers. These are graded readers, stories written specifically for English learners. This is perfect for me, I thought excitedly. I picked up a book called The Secret Garden. It was marked as elementary level. The cover showed a beautiful garden with a girl standing by a gate. This looks interesting, I said, flipping through the pages. The sentences were short and clear, but the story seemed engaging. Excellent choice. Frances Hodgson Burnett is a classic author. This adaptation will help you improve your reading while enjoying a wonderful story, Mrs. Patterson explained. I selected 4 more books, a collection of short stories, a book about American culture, and 2 romance novels that looked fun and easy to read. I can't wait to start reading these, I thought. At the checkout desk, I handed my new library card to a young librarian. "I would like to borrow these books, please," I said proudly. The librarian smiled and began scanning the books. "Great selections! These are due back in 3 weeks on," she paused, looking at her computer screen, "November 15th. "Thank you," I said. Then, wanting to be extra polite and show my appreciation, I added, "I am very grateful for your help. This library is beautiful, and I promise I will take care of these books. I will bring them back in 3 weeks, dead or alive." The librarian's eyes widened. Mrs. Patterson, who was standing nearby, tried to hide a smile behind her hand. A few other people at nearby desks looked up from their books. Did I say something wrong? I wondered, noticing their expressions. I was trying to be polite. "Oh my," Mrs. Patterson said gently. "I think you mean you'll bring them back safe and sound, not dead or alive." My face turned bright red when I realized my mistake. "Oh no! Dead or alive is what they say about criminals in old Western movies." I had mixed up two English expressions I had heard before. "I'm so sorry," I said, laughing at myself. "I meant I will return them in good condition, not dead or alive. That's for cowboys and bad guys, right?" Everyone around me started laughing. Not mean laughter, but warm, friendly laughter. The librarian grinned. "Don't worry, we understood what you meant. And honestly, that was the cutest mistake I've heard all week." Mrs. Patterson patted my shoulder kindly. "Dear, you're doing wonderfully with English. These little mix-ups happen to everyone learning a new language. The important thing is that you're brave enough to keep trying." She's right, I thought. Making mistakes is part of learning. "You know what?" Mrs. Patterson continued. "There's something I'd like to show you." She led me to a bulletin board covered with flyers and announcements. Every Thursday evening, we have an English conversation group right here in the library. It's for people just like you. Friendly, informal, and no judgment about mistakes. I looked at the flyer. English coffee chat, Thursday evening, 7 p.m., all levels welcome. There was a photo of people sitting in a circle, talking and laughing together. Maybe I am ready for this, I thought. If I can laugh about saying dead or alive about library books, I can handle a conversation group. "I think I would like to try that," I said, surprising myself with my decision. "Wonderful! I'll see you Thursday evening then." "And Aya," Mrs. Patterson smiled warmly, "bring those books back, safe and sound, not dead or alive." We all laughed again, and I felt something shift inside me. Making mistakes isn't the end of the world. It's just part of the journey. Walking home in the rain, carrying my 5 new books, I felt lighter than I had in months. That small piece of plastic in my wallet wasn't just a library card anymore. It was proof that I belonged here in America, that I was brave enough to make mistakes and learn from them. I can't wait to read these books, I thought, and I definitely can't wait for Thursday evening. That night, I started reading The Secret Garden, and for the first time since arriving in America, I wasn't worried about understanding every single word. I was just enjoying the story, letting the English flow around me like a gentle river. Sometimes the best adventures begin with the smallest steps, and sometimes the most embarrassing mistakes lead to the most beautiful discoveries. Thanks for listening to my story today. I'd love to hear about your own library adventures or funny language mistakes in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the story. I have so many more to share with you. See you next time.